December 10th, 2017.
It's like a mad father yelling at you when you ask what day is it. It's December 10th.
It's the 10th.
It's 2017, you bastard.
You're listening to What's Happening in Cleveland with your host, Kevin Baird.
Brian Baird.
Don Anderson.
And Larry Mack.
All right. Got a full crew
Full of lunatics.
this week.
People.
Back on the show of happiness. Larry and I were having a laugh before the show about Larry's
July signed on.
upcoming food potluck thing that he's having at his house.
Bunch of bread.
Everybody brings rolls.
No, not even rolls. They're like hamburger buns that you just decided you didn't roll too hard.
Right, it'll be like everyone shows up with half a pack of hot dog buns.
Yeah. Somebody will crunch them up and say that it's actually croutons.
There's always an odd number.
Really old dry bread. It's like never been sliced or anything. It's hard. I had this on my counter, Larry. Here you go. You could maybe cut it and toast it or something. All right. First, let's catch up with everything everybody's had going on. Brian, you're rebooting your computer or something, but how?
Well, it's still on. I mean, I'm still
before
here.
you get hung up on.
Yeah.
How'd your week go?
Our kitten died today.
How did that happen? Did you step on it?
Nobody. Yeah, I see. I knew it was. I should just take this to the grave for like now, in the spirit of clemency.
You are a suspect with
No, my kid. I would just woke up. My kid's just like staring at me all bug-eyed, like I need you to check something. I'm like, what? She's like, the kitten. And in my head, I'm like, it's dead. I just know it's dead. Christ! What the fuck possibly could you just? I mean, of course, in my head, the mocking voice is like, did you fall asleep on top of it and crush it to death? But you can't do the little girls. I was like, let me look at it. Oh yeah, dead fucking kitten. Now you see, when I'm telling this story, I have two regrets immediately. One, is everybody, I didn't even post it on Facebook because I just know I'm just getting blamed for it no matter what. So I just decided to just forget that. And two, Kevin's dog died, and he had to handle the dead dog because handling that dead kitten was the creepiest fucking thing I've ever done ever. I mean, it's just not, because you just feel like it's gonna suddenly come back to life, and just kind of try to like attacking you.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, or maybe it's not that. I'm not a veterinarian. I wouldn't take my word for it, So I didn't know it was at first. So I had to ensure it was dead by poking it with objects.
I know it's dead. I poked it with a stick.
So it was like an empty water bottle, but it was a big one. So not like it takes two hands to lift or something. Like when you have in the office. But it was a water bottle.
It's got the big jug.
Yeah.
Just walk over.
It's a good example for your kid. This is how you check if something's still alive, honey.
Yeah. Poked it, and it's a kitten. It would have woke up immediately. I tried to see if it was still sleepy, and I looked at it because its eyes were partially open.
That's even creepier.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, are you dead, you little fucker? Don't fuck with me, man. You're creeping me out. So I just looked at it. I'm like, yeah, it's gone. So I can tell your mom, but I'm just gonna leave it here for now. Coward! My brain screamed.
So you
Coward.
can tell your mom. I love it.
I tell your mom because I don't know what she wants. Because I'm like, are we throwing it out?
I don't want to be part of this.
Are we throwing it out? No, we're going to keep it on the mantle.
Flush it down the toilet.
Stuff
I mean,
that's
Stuff it, put it on the mantle.
But yeah, because in my head, I'm just like, immediately my brain, dead kitten, and my brain is just like, coward. You should be the one. You're the man. You should just. I'm like, what do I do with it?
Honey, is this recyclable?
Hey,
Which can is it going?
Well, yeah, I thought maybe she's gonna take it to the fucking vet. She just had a kitten there. I mean, it's a brand new kitten. You got shots and papers.
No, I'd return it. It's defective.
Yeah.
You might.
What'd you do? Did you
walking
leave a
in that
Warhammer toy on the ground that it ate or something?
Well, the thing was, I couldn't actually, tell what the hell had happened. It was just dead. It wasn't like it was been mushed or something.
Form like a necropsy on it.
Maybe if my daughter weighed more than 98 fucking pounds at 15, I might be concerned. Like if I was in the room with it, yeah, I totally would have just smashed it to shit, and then there would be just like I'd be on Facebook, with some BuzzFeed like this man has murdered your kitten and this is why you should hate him. Here's your 10 reasons or whatever.
Didn't the other cat die?
No, it's still fucking around here hissing at me, little cocksucker.
Oh, maybe that cat killed it or something.
Well, what you do is you take the dead one and then you hold it over the live one, and you go, "You're next," unless you keep your shit together.
The cat would just attack the little one, probably run off and try eating it. I'm not gonna have no, dude. Come on, it's me. No, you know as well as I do what a disaster that'll be.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want you to do it.
No, I have enough going on. Like Friday or Thursday, I come home from work. It's snowing a little bit, and of course, I live right next to the lake. And as soon as I get near the road I actually live on, this one, everything. I'm out. That was the day I delivered to like Bucyrus, Ohio, and like further south. There's a place that's it's called Plain City. I delivered it to a town called Plain City, and their roads were de-iced. All right, Eastlake, no de-icing. No de-icing. There's no de-icing. Okay, so I don't have my four-wheel drive engaged, and I have an old car, which means you have to actually get out, and turn the fucking to get into four-wheel drive, which is not happening. Where am I going to stop? I won't be able to stop. So I'm just like, yeah, Christ. And anytime the light turns green, I'm trying not to pop the clutch because, without getting too much into detail, the truck I drive is a city cab, and which means I just got a city clutch, which means I don't have to push all the way fucking down to get the thing to engage the clutch. I just barely have to touch it. All right. Whereas my car doesn't have that shit.
Oh,
So it takes about maybe a good hour of just going back and forth, and then I'm like, okay. So I don't pop the clutch in my car. It's just, sometimes it just doesn't quite. I don't time it quite right. So if I'm on ice, you notice it right away because my tires will spin, and which means I'm not going anywhere because the back of my truck is pretty. My pickup truck is pretty light, so it's rear wheel drive. Otherwise, so I'm not going anywhere. Fucking genius that I am. So nothing bizarre happened that way. Although Tuesday when I went to work, I was backing my car up and it was pissing out, and I'll just be honest, I wasn't really all that awake. And I was trying to back into my spot, and there's a trailer parked next to my spot, no truck underneath it, tractor underneath it, and I accidentally partially tried to park my car underneath the trailer. I banged the fucking shell, so it moved slightly. So now I can't open my rear hatch on my pickup truck. The back hatch will open, like for the hatchback itself, but the actual bottom part, which will make it a lot more convenient when I'm trying to actually take groceries into the house. So it's been kind of one of those weeks where crazy bad shit went on, and I just took it and started to stride. I'm like, as long as the kitten's the only thing that dies in this house, because that's all I've been reading about on Facebook is people have been losing relatives and friends left and right. I'm like, I know as we get older, this becomes more common, but Jesus, it's kind of spooky.
It happens around the holidays.
And I'm almost finished. I was watching Logan, but I didn't get to finish it because I had a dead kid to take care of. But
good movie.
It is. It's surprisingly good. I thought it was going to be like, it'll be all right. But no, it's, it was actually pretty good.
It's probably because Bryan Singer didn't direct that one or something. Maybe he did. I don't know.
It's pretty. I mean, it's dark. But the thing is, there's another movie I saw. Of course, I can't remember the name of it. It was in Australia. It was like almost post-apocalyptic. It really reminded me of it a bit. Just because, it was just kind of like that same sort of atmosphere where they're driving out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Oh, look, there's Johnny.
James Mangold. Yeah. As if it was Bryan Singer. He does all the X-Men movies now. Well, maybe not anymore that he's been accused of, I don't know.
Who hasn't been accused?
Raping monkeys or whatever's been going on.
What did Kevin Spacey do? I didn't really pay much attention.
He stuck his hands in people's pants, touched their genitals.
Fucking Hollywood's so goddamn weird.
Yeah, it's about it, really. I mean, somebody else could.
That's about it.
Pretty detailed.
He may have touched somebody, but he admitted it, so.
That was it. I mean,
it's a little touching.
He found of little boys. I mean, nothing. No big deal.
Some people call it petting.
Oh, I didn't know that crap was going on. I just
It was like a drive-by kind of thing with Spacey there.
There's just so many people. There's so many people just going out, I was touched, and then I'm reading like a third of them. It's not even true. I'm
just wowed them with his fame, and then stuck his hands in their pants really quick, and then walked away.
I do think he had like the best quote unquote kind of confession thing or whatever you want to call it, because he was basically like, I don't remember doing that to you. I'm sorry if I did though, because it kind of sounds like something I may have done.
Beautiful.
And also,
and if so, my bad.
He just wanted to know what was in the box.
Yeah, it's all because when you hear about what's his face, Louis C.K., which I was kind of like, all right. I mean, I'm not totally surprised.
Comedians are scumbags, so
Well,
it makes sense.
At least Louis C.K. asked permission first.
Right.
Do you mind
you
if I
know,
masturbate
yeah.
in
Just
front of
everybody's
you?
like, well, he did this and this, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
They didn't
Although
really
that
touch
rings a-
anybody. You just got to beat
Yeah.
off in front of people.
Yeah, that rings a little hollow if you're like, do you mind if I do this? Well, what happens if I say no? I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't have to do anything? No. Yeah, okay. Well,
Like, frankly, you could probably leave the room once I'm into it.
I mean, Bill Cosby's drugging people. And having sex.
Yeah, I mean-
It's a little bit different of its levels of extreme.
Right.
Yeah. Bill Cosby's old news. He's still fucking free and clear, too. They're just hoping he dies so they don't have to put him in jail or something. You know, because what are you going to say? Like, well, he may have been like a rapist, but he did make us laugh for a really long time. You know, sort of like this weird trade-off. And, you know, then like with the Louis C.K. thing, it's like then you have like 5,000 people coming forward going, "Oh, that's just reprehensible." And he used to come forward and go, "Shut up." You know, it's like, look, he already did. He already came forward and he owned it. And what the fuck else did we do now? Burn him at the fucking stake? You assholes were laughing like hell at his jokes before, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these businesses just fire people immediately under accusation.
Yeah.
That's always funny to me.
Guilty until proven innocent. It's ridiculous.
What did he do? Oh, he's fired. He's fired. He's out. He's out. We got a contract with him. That's fine. He's done. I didn't actually do it, guys. I didn't commit that. Yeah. Nah, you're done. You're fine. No more money for you. Huh. Okay.
Basically.
Well, I guess maybe I did do it.
I'm on.
Well, like that guy on PBS, the Prairie Home Companion guy or whatever his name is, and he's accused of like touching some woman's buttocks. Fired. Changing the name of the show. It's like,
Buttocks.
really?
Must
Yeah,
be
no, I
putting
mean,
the
like,
buttocks.
like that's like, or he put his hand on a woman's back and she didn't like that. Something like that,
Wow.
and it's like it's
Poor
very
thing.
extreme. PBS. It's very extreme.
What woman doesn't like having their back touched, right?
I mean, at least prove the guy is actually lying.
Pretty much none.
Right. That's like, why are you touching me?
Granted, I don't think anybody. Maybe there's
Don't
more
touch
to
me.
it. I don't think anybody can keep up with the volume of this because every like 6 hours there's a new accusation against someone doing something.
Pretty much.
So it's a little bit difficult to actually know the whole story about anybody at this point. And also because there's a lot of disinformation of people that just make crazy accusations and shit because they want to be included. I met
Well, yeah,
Kevin
part of
Spacey
the
at a
fun.
show and he put his arm around me. Well, you guys were taking a picture together. It was a violation of my privacy.
I just wanted to stand next to him.
I just wanted to say hi.
All right, Anderson, how was your week this week?
Dude.
Uh-oh.
Dude.
It was epic.
Dude. It was alright. The only bright news I have, it's kind of funny that Brian was like, you know, everybody's got all these people dying and stuff, because my sister-in-law's brother just died on Friday. This kid I knew.
Jesus.
He was like 3 years younger than me. And when my brother started dating my sister-in-law, she would have to take her little brother with her. My brother would have to take his little brother with her. So the two of us would always hang out. So there's that. I just thought I'd throw that in there. I'm not going to bum anybody out. But,
Too late now.
yeah, I know. Here, I'll make everybody happy because nobody will care. Oh my God, look at that spider. Okay, good. Nobody cares. But I made the playoffs in 3 of my fantasy football leagues. Right?
Out of how many?
Nice.
Out of how many?
72.
3. I made it in all 3 of my leagues. I made it into playoffs. I got a bye, so I'm not playing this week. It's the second week of the playoffs in my work league, which is the big money. And I'm going to the Super Bowl because I won today. Yeah! And then I was in the last place in my other league, my personal league, and I came back and I smoked Gilly. And now it looks like I'm moving on. So, it's a great day. Great week. That's all I got. Other than that, I mean, we put up the Christmas tree. We got Christmas lights up. Sophie was here. Walked into the arcade. There's an arcade in Strongsville Mall. It has like the ticket games and stuff. And she's been saving all our tickets because they used to have these giant stuffed animals on the top shelf. And then, so she got the one and they put another one up. So she took that one too. And then we came back and there were none. It was like, are you guys ever going to put big ones up there? And she's like, yeah, we'll get it up there Sunday. So we walked in today, and Sophie's just like, "Oh, I'm getting that." I go, "What are you talking about?"
you're
She
not.
points up. She points up, and there's a giant leopard just sitting there all stuffed up and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, man." She's like, "Yep." She goes, "I got enough tickets for it. It's only 4,000. It's kind of sad when the kid's like, it's only 4,000. I got this covered, and I'll have extra."
Are these all in
And,
your room, dude? Are you like at your parents' house and stuff, and you got all these giant stuffed animals in your room?
They're in her room.
Oh.
They're not yet. They're not even all in her room. I have 10 garbage bags full of stuffed animals
Jesus.
in my storage unit. Literally 10 bags. When I moved out of my apartment on the 3rd floor, I made her go down to the ground, and then me and Holiday were chucking bags at her of stuffed animals. We're like, "Here, catch." She was trying to catch him. It was just hitting her in the face, and she was laughing. So
Stop it.
So there's that. So then she got herself a big giant leopard, and now it's sitting in the back seat of my car. She's afraid to bring it in the house because my parents are like, "No more stuffed animals." And she's like, "Yeah, not a problem."
Oh, you have to open the window and push it in or something.
I gotta wait till they go to bed. That's what I told her. I was like, "I'll wait till they go to bed, and I'll bring it in." So
You gotta smuggle in the stuffed animal. It's great. Your dad's gonna be going to the bathroom and shit.
right, and all of a sudden there's a jaguar looking at him.
Get that out of my house.
Yeah, her room's a mess. If I walked over there right now, I'd show you. But that's it. That's all there was. I'm just excited that I made the Super Bowl and that I'm guaranteed to win some money. I'm good like that.
Okay, Larry,
cousin.
that was your week.
Very exciting. I continue to work entirely too many hours. Did some trivia. We now have a 3rd team name because I was the only one who actually showed up this week.
The shiftless hobo.
Yeah.
So this week, since we couldn't be Spock's brain because you weren't there, and we couldn't be bunch of drunks because the other drunks weren't there, this week we were fat guy in the corner.
Nice.
Sounds like an old fucking Genesis song. There's a lonely drunk in the corner.
Right, which is pretty much what happened. Sitting there by myself at the bar. Got there early, so I was there way too long. So by the end, I was just sending horrible drunk texts to my exes. And I never should have let you go.
Oh, God.
Is that what that meant? I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck are you
Yeah.
saying to me?
I should have understood your need to cheat on me so often. It was my fault. See what else. Friday, went out, had a Christmas party with my old work group. Did some drinking there. Might have sent some drunk texts after that. Took my daughter driving for the first time. My younger daughter now.
She wasn't before.
Well, because I've already told a story about taking my daughter driving for the first time, so this is the other daughter.
Oh, the younger one.
Yeah,
The one that's younger now.
correct. Yeah, she used to be the older one, but then there's this whole big thing, and now she's the younger one.
Okay. But did one of them perish, or?
No,
Yeah.
we reassigned.
Reassigned.
Yeah, like Kay, she now identifies as younger.
Okay.
She's trans age.
Okay.
So I had this spot picked out. I was like, you know where we're gonna go? Because you always gotta do that first one like in a parking lot, so there's nothing there and there's no traffic, and they ain't gotta do
First
anything.
murder.
So I was like, we're gonna go to this parking lot of this park. It's gonna be great because also while we're there, we can get your picture next to the sign for like Kelsey Creek and Kelsey Brook, the Kelsey bike path. It'll be great. And we get there, and this park. I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see it, so I'm not sure why I'm doing it. This park, it's like set behind like the water treatment plant, and the parking lot is roughly the size of like the average driveway. So I was like, okay, so pull it in here. We're gonna practice backing up. Okay, drive over here. She's like, Dad, can we go here? 'Cause, We're like on the basketball courts. I was like, yeah, we're probably not supposed to be driving here, so let's practice backing up quickly. So that was kind of a disaster because it was nowhere near the size I needed. So I was like, well, since our first attempt at driving in an abandoned parking lot failed, let's just take you out on the road and see what happens. It's fine. So we did a little driving. Went and grabbed some pizza. That was the pretty much the excitement. Today I put away my backyard stuff for the winter. And then watched the latest Browns travesty in preparation of our parade here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Celebrate our perfect season. So yeah, that was my week.
Seems inevitable at this point. That,
Yeah,
that even if we're doing good, we're going to fuck it up at the end.
yeah. Blowing this one like cemented it.
Really shouldn't be a surprise, are there?
There's just that part of me that has been a Browns fan long enough that I won't completely rule out them breaking our hearts like they did last year and going 1-15, just to screw it up for everybody.
All right, well, I basically fought a cold all week, and
Victorious.
played that video game, This Is the Police, where you're a corrupt cop a lot.
So you're a cop.
So you're like the chief of police, and you're like working with the mafia, and you can like assassinate your own cops and all this stuff. It's pretty dim view of police work. I mean, I think you can do it without that, but it's there's no real way to win that way, and because you have to get like $500,000 before like 180 days have elapsed, and it would be really hard to do that unless you work with the underworld. And the funny thing is it's like, I have a 4K TV and I have like a PlayStation Pro, and I'm playing this like flat 2D, could be a Flash game, real weak $10 video game kind of thing. Because that's how I roll. We played that Monster Hunter World on game night. And I didn't really care for it, but I think Vaughn is kind of into it because he likes all of that Japanese everything. So, he just wants to like it because other Japanese people like it or whatever. But you basically just walk around the woods or something and you try and find like up this one particular monster, and then you beat on it for about 20 minutes. Like literally, you have a time limit of 20 minutes to try and kill it. And so, like, you're constantly hitting it with, like, 3 other people with your weapons, and then it runs away, and then you have to, like, run after it, but it takes a while because you don't move particularly fast. So it's really kind of dumb and boring. But apparently Japanese people really like games that are, like, boring, where they like to grind through things forever. Because if you ever played any of their MMOs, it's always about, like, endless grinding. To level up and stuff, so it's not for me, man. But whatever. If he enjoys it, that's fine. I'll play something with a little bit more spirited action. Yeah, that's it. It's really cold. It's really cold. And it just kind of came out of nowhere, and now, like on Monday night to Tuesday, we're supposed to get like a foot of snow. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, being Cleveland, a few days after that, it'll probably be 70 again.
Right.
So, yeah. So speaking of Cleveland, let's do our news drinking game. If you've never played before, basically, we're going to read off the Metro News out of Cleveland, and if someone was shot, you have to drink. If Jennifer Cha-Cha is mentioned anywhere in the story, you have to drink, and if it happens on Cleveland's east side, or
guess what?
Close enough, you have to drink.
Exactly. Get with it.
Olmsted Falls, Ohio.
Uh-oh. What'd I do now?
A man is facing charges after he ditched his car on railroad tracks, causing an Amtrak train to hit it. The accident happened Saturday just after 2:30 in the morning near Columbia Road. Olmsted Falls police officer Ben Ovalgone said, None of the 123 passengers or crew members on the train were hurt. Amtrak spokeswoman Kimberly Wood said. The intoxicated man, whose name was not released by police, is charged with operating a vehicle while under the influence, police said. The man drove onto the tracks and ditched his car when he saw the train coming, police said. Amtrak Train 30, which travels daily between Chicago and Washington, D.C., hit the car. Train resumed service about 3:45 a.m.
That's funny.
I don't
didn't
quite
know
get
one.
that. Do you just drive onto the tracks and then you're like, oh, a train. I better just get out. You know? It seems like in movies that the car always breaks down like right on the tracks, which makes no sense either. Like, why did that just happen? You know?
Who's the hell?
What?
One person's watching TV, one person's playing a video game with a controller.
I wasn't sure which one was which.
Because all I hear is a TV and a controller.
Probably like King Arthur or something.
I'm being good, Kevin. I'm not doing nothing.
Right.
I'm
That's why I
playing the
play
game.
music.
I'm watching the Google stream thing here.
Think
I'm looking at rocks.
I'm playing the game. I ain't afraid.
Like, do you just pick just random videos to play during the...
Cleveland videos. This is about those rocks that people put in the metro
Talking about,
parks?
yeah, this is the Northeast Ohio rocks he's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a couple of them in my car.
okay, I'm not familiar with this one.
This is the crazy lady that puts them. You find them, and then you're supposed to put them someplace else.
There's a Facebook page, and you can find them in weird places all around the state.
Cleveland, Ohio. A human skull was found on Thursday near
Brian.
several more pieces
Wasn't
of a
me.
possible human skeleton as construction workers dug into the foundation of an abandoned Cleveland apartment building, police say. The discovery was made about 4 p.m. at the building on East 79th
Drink.
Street, south of Huff Avenue. Wonderful neighborhood. As
That's
construction
beautiful.
workers prepared it for demolition, a police report said. The workers took down most of the apartment building's boiler room and used that space to store debris. Brian, can you turn that down or just mute your microphone if you're not going to speak?
Sorry, I don't think you can actually hear.
Yeah, that's really
No, we got totally all here.
We can, like, follow it.
yeah.
I heard the whole conversation.
That's weird.
An excavator was brought in to move the debris, and a worker used it to scoop down into the foundation beneath the boiler room. The skull rolled out from the excavator as that load was being moved, the report says. Hey, we got another skull here. How many does that make now on Huff here? Just dig it into the ground. Lots of skulls. An investigator with the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office went to the building on Thursday to investigate and told police that he believes the skull is real. Well, looks like a real skull. I've seen fake
Got eye
skulls a
holes.
lot, and this is a real one. The investigator found several pieces that appear to be vertebrae at the site. He spotted more pieces of possible remains in the ground, the report says. The investigator told police that workers from the medical examiner's office would return to the site Friday morning to unearth the rest of the suspected remains. Huff is probably a very notorious part of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't be on Huff. Don't go to, no.
Yeah.
Especially 55th and Huff.
Not a good place to be. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland police are investigating after an armed robber held up a bank Friday on Chester Avenue, police say. The robbery happened shortly before 2 p.m. at the Key Bank on Chester Avenue near East 36th Street. Drink in the Goodrich-Kirtland Park neighborhood. Cleveland police spokeswoman Sergeant Jennifer Cha-Cha said. Drink again. The robber made customers get on the floor during the incident, Cha-Cha said. The robber then ran off. No one was injured, and police do not yet know what was stolen. Maybe money at the bank. It's not like he's going to take the rope and the, that thing they use to make a line, whatever that thing's called.
He's gonna take the pen off the chain.
Right. It's like, I'm taking this plastic plant. Don't try and stop me.
I'm taking all the dum-dums.
An FBI spokeswoman said her agency was aware of the incident, but she was not able to provide details. Now, which bank on Chester? A lot of them get robbed, so...
Right. Anything. It doesn't have to be a bank. Anything on Chester, really.
Right.
Just Chester in general.
Cleveland, Ohio. A security guard at a Cleveland Family Dollar store was almost shot Wednesday night as he wrestled a gun away from an armed robber and held him there until police arrived.
Is that almost a drink then?
We'll see if the bullet went off. DeMario Bogarty, 24, is charged with aggravated robbery and felonious assault in the incident that happened about 8 p.m. at the Family Dollar on East 93rd Street near Union Avenue. Drake. His bond was set at $25,000 at his Friday arraignment, court records show. Bogarty acts suspiciously in the store before approaching the counter asking for cigarettes and flashing a pistol, the report says. Bogarty pointed the gun at a clerk and said, "Open the drawer before it gets bloody in here," the report says. He then approached the security guard and demanded his cell phone, the report says. It's a little weird. The security guard hit his arm in an attempt to get the gun away. Oh, shit, hold on. I'm going to pause the show because I lost everybody on the thing. Hold on. Bogarty acts suspiciously in the store before approaching the counter, asking for cigarettes and flashing a pistol.
Before I approached the counter, he's twitching.
Bogarty pointed the gun at the clerk and said, "Open the drawer before it gets bloody in here," the report says. He then approached the security guard and demanded his cell phone, the report says. That's what set the guy off. Wasn't the gun at the clerk. It was him losing his cell phone. He's like, fuck that. The security guard hit his arm in an attempt to get the gun away.
Oh.
Like, I now see him just like bitch slapping the dude's wrist. Hey.
It's like a Shatner karate chop on the arm. Like,
with the axe handle.
A shirtless Kirk.
The pair wrestled over the weapon and fell to the floor, where they continued to struggle. The guard lost his grip on Bogarty's arm, and Bogarty managed to fire the gun. Drink!
Drink!
The report says. The bullet almost struck the guard's head and was fired into the floor, the report says. Another man ran from the back of the store to help the guard. Probably then turned around and ran away. The two men held Bogarty down.
As soon as the gun went off, he just kind of skidded across the floor, spun around.
Like, whoops, I don't want no part of this.
Did the Fred Flintstone thing with the feet spinning.
Let's see. Police asked that Bogarty be held in a high bond because he fired a gun at his girlfriend earlier in the day, court records say. He also threatened the robbery victims as police arrested him, records say. Yeah. Family Dollar is always really interesting over on the east side. Always lots of people hiding there and waiting for the store to open. You know,
hey, they got the goods, I guess.
I don't know why this one's on. It's from Texas. Sometimes the Cleveland news thing just is like, and here's something that happened in Texas, and it's like, no.
Well, is it like Cleveland to Texas?
No. Federal agents searched Cleveland's Division of Engineering and Construction in a Wednesday raid and seized files related to a company owned by a mid-level employee, according to documents released by the city Thursday afternoon. Agents from the FBI, IRS, and Department of Housing and Urban Development took 10 items, including files related to Pioneer Engineering, a company owned by Khalil, I can't say his name, an engineer and section chief for construction inspection. The division where he worked is part of the is part of the city's capital projects office. Iwais, 42, has not been charged in the investigation. Authorities also... That's really interesting, isn't it? That'd be like you're at your job, you know? You're coming into work, you're like... And everybody's like looking at you. And you're like, what? What's going on? Yeah, so the FBI came in and everything at your desk is gone. Oh.
They're looking for you.
Yeah, they said you're not in any trouble or anything.
No, like do I have to talk to somebody? No, they just wanted your stuff.
Well,
the boss did ask to see.
Yeah, right.
He's a little mad.
Miffed.
Concerned about what's going on. Authorities also seized files pertaining to Burton Scott Contractors, a Geauga County-based paving company that it has been awarded city and Cuyahoga County contracts. Information about Wednesday night's search was culled from 4 pages of documents, a warrant, a return and evidence recovery log, which federal agents left on a desk in the office where the search took place.
We're just going to leave this here so he touches it.
And not only that, but then the people at City Hall just like gave it to the plane dealer. Oh, they left this. You could have that.
I'm sure it's not important at all.
Yeah. What do you,
You guys want this?
FBI just kind of left that there, so I guess it's okay.
Says
if you have
FIBA. I can't. I don't know. I'm tired.
That's good.
I don't get paid enough to care about this. Just whatever you want.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Never heard of it.
2 men are accused of being part of a group that pistol whipped and robbed 10 Cleveland State University students at gunpoint during 2 home invasions at a downtown Cleveland apartment building, police say. Marquand Wade, 21, and Charles Pittman, 20, are both charged with aggravated robbery. Neither are in police custody, and warrants were issued Wednesday for their arrests. So if you know those 2 guys, look out.
Yeah.
Police are, although if you're on the east
Watch
side
out.
with them, drink.
Right.
Police are still trying to identify
There are
2 other
rules.
people in the group that committed the robberies that targeted one of the students who dealt marijuana out of the apartment, police reports say. The home invasions happened at the same apartment inside the Walter and Weeks building on Carnegie Avenue and East 22nd Street. Drake. That caters to Cleveland State students. The first happened October 13th when a 20-year-old North Royalton student, who lives at the apartment, set up a drug deal with a man he met through a friend. He only
He's my friend.
knew him as Trippy, according to police reports.
So
We don't know
they were
anybody.
good friends.
The dealer and 2 other men went to the apartment, and they, along with 2 others who live at the apartment, smoked marijuana to test it out before they bought more, police reports say. 3 robbers stood up, pulled out guns, and ordered the 3 students to the ground at gunpoint, according to police
Just for
reports.
close.
The robbers rummaged through their pockets and searched the apartment for things to steal. Got that plastic plant. They stole about $800, a hoverboard, video games, and 2 cell phones before leaving, police reports
Even
say.
the video games are going to go.
They left very slowly on that hoverboard.
It's covered in snow.
The robbers returned about
This doesn't work.
10:40 p.m. Friday. 10 people, I love the robbers go back. 10 people, including the 3 men who were robbed during the October 13th incident, were inside the apartment. All are between the ages of 18 and 21, police reports say. Someone answered the door, and the robbers showed their way inside. Excuse me, I've been here before. The 4 robbers wore hoods pulled tight around their faces. They ordered everyone inside of the ground at gunpoint, according to police. They're really mad that hoverboard didn't work.
Like the second time they show up, if you live there, aren't you like, God damn it?
Yeah, right. Again? One of the robbers pistol whipped a 19-year-old man in the head and told him to lie down closer to the others, police reports say. The robbers went through their pockets and stole cash and cell phones, police reports say. They ransacked the bedrooms, stealing $1,700 in shoes, a computer, and more cell phones. One spotted a safe in one of the bedrooms and ordered a 20-year-old resident to open the safe at gunpoint, according to police reports. The man opened the safe, and the robbers stole $700, 3 watches, and marijuana, police say. Sounds like a bunch of guys that probably
Didn't have any money.
inevitably were going to be robbed.
Wanted to have some.
Sounds like a couple of guys who should probably use the peephole on the door before they open it.
Right?
You know, not just let anybody in, especially guys in hoods that after you've been robbed.
Like I get that if you're dealing, you might have some dudes you don't really know showing up at your door, but yeah, check the peephole. If they're wearing a ski mask, just go ahead and do the flick the lights off and tell everybody, shh,
Okay, look.
act like you're not here.
Okay, no, never mind. I'm not going to come. No, I'm not going to comment. I thought about it, but it may incriminate me at a later date.
You know it will.
Akron,
I know.
Ohio. Detectives are trying to identify an attacker, there you go, Brian, who shot and pistol whipped
Shot a
an
hair
Akron
cutter?
man Wednesday outside his girlfriend's apartment. Drink.
Greg,
The 30-year-old man did not see who shot him twice in the leg and the arm just after 7
Shot
p.m.
in the leg.
on Callis Oval in the downtown Akron neighborhood, according to a police report. The man was walking to his car when someone came up behind him and hit him in the back of the head with a gun. The attacker then fired several shots at the man, the report says.
The guy gave him a chance to pull his pistol out.
For whatever reason, it also says here, gunshots also struck a 2005 Pontiac G6, a 2012 Kia Optima, and a 2010 Chevrolet Malibu that were parked nearby, the report says.
Bless you.
I guess that's important in case one of those are yours, I guess.
Yes, I'm not sure why those details are important. More importantly, so the dude didn't see him.
Right.
Guy fired 5 times at a target who wasn't even looking at him and hit him twice.
Yeah. The guy came up behind him, hit him
missed
in the
him
head,
3
and then
times.
shot at him 5 times, only hit him twice. Once in the leg, once in the arm, and somehow managed to hit 3 other cars.
Random cars.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's some stormtrooper level marksmanship right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that gun is probably not... I'd probably get a different gun. Not accurate.
Who is this guy?
You might want to make sure you adjusted the sights correctly on that thing.
Who is
Barrels
this
all
guy?
bent.
Cobra Commander?
This is terrible. So the man returned to his girlfriend's apartment to call 911. She's like, "Did you get the Netflix movie? Oh my god!" Akron Fire Department paramedics took him to Cleveland Clinic, Akron General, to be treated for injuries that were not life-threatening.
Did you stop at Redbox?
If he went to
No.
Metro, he might not have made it.
Why not? I thought you loved me.
Thought you loved me. Thought you wanted me to be happy.
Cleveland, Ohio. A Cleveland man admitted involvement in several drive-by shootings over the summer. Well, drink. Including one incident in which a developmentally disabled child was nearly shot, police say. Delonte Brooks Trawick, 18, is charged with first-degree felonious assault. Officers asked Cleveland Municipal Court Judge Marilyn Cassidy to hold him on a high bond, and she set it at $250,000 during his Thursday arraignment, court records show.
Why did they come up with that? Just sort of like,
Yeah, why even, like, they give people, like, you can have bail, you can't really afford it, but in case you have a rich uncle, got $1 million or something, then you can come out, but otherwise,
Just stay right there.
your criminality is worth $250,000, basically. We'll take the $250,000 and then set you loose on the streets. I mean, if you've got that kind of money, then you can go back out and start shooting people again. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Just come on back.
Brooks Trawick admitted to Cleveland police detectives on Monday that he took part in 3 drive-by shootings in the span of 6 hours on July 24th, records say.
busy motherfucker.
They
Goddamn.
happened on East 119th Street and East 121st Street. Drink in the Buckeye Shaker neighborhood, records say. Those incidents were a culmination of disagreements between 2 groups of adjacent neighborhood residents. Boy, what a way to say it. A culmination of disagreements between 2 groups of adjacent neighborhood residents. I bet it's gangs. There's gangs shooting at each other is what it is.
You can't say gangs anymore.
The ongoing
Yeah, it could've been someone.
neighborhood residents. We're just neighborhood residents, and Brooke
just-
got a little
we all
upset
know each
about
other.
it, and he got into his car and decided he'd just machine gun people 3 times that day. It was
That's not normal?
It was July 24th. It was probably balls hot, so tempers were probably
Something to do with it.
yeah.
Flaring.
Right.
No pun intended.
The ongoing dispute traces back to December 31st, 2016, when Brooks Trawick stole a gun from a person who lives in the 2800 block of East 119th Street, records show. Someone shot at the house about 10:30 p.m. July 24th, a police report says. Several bullets damaged multiple windows in 2 cars. One witness told police that someone in a Kia fired the shots. Brooks, is that what happened? So then that other guy that came up behind that dude said he's going to shoot that Kia? I'm not going to keep reading. This is just nonsense. A Lorain County grand jury has handed up an indictment against a Parma man accused of killing a man whose body was found in a storage shed in North Ridgeville. John
We
Rowan,
found a body in North Ridgeville?
37, is charged with
Never mind.
2
That
counts
doesn't sound too surprising.
of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of robbery, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, 2 counts of theft, and single counts of aggravated robbery, felonious assault, and abuse of a corpse in the April 17th death of Harold Litton. Court
I heard he
records
was
do not
carrying it around
say
like Bernie.
when he'll make his first appearance. Litton was found dead at a home on Jaycox Road
I know that. Oh, I've been there so many times.
Near Center Ridge Road. Investigators believe
Yeah.
he was beaten to death during a robbery. Rowan was
Jesus.
in custody for a probation violation when North Ridgeville detectives made their October 3rd announcement that they would seek charges in the homicide. He was later released from Lake Erie Correctional Institution and appeared in Elyria Municipal Court the following day. Detectives determined Litton and Rowan knew each other before the killing. Litton hired Rowan to fix his car. Yep.
I guess he didn't like how his car got fixed.
That must have been like the only murder in North Ridgeville, like for the year. Kind of how it is in North Royalton. We get a murder, and then it's like. Although this year we had like 4 because one guy shot his girlfriend in the neck. He was showing her a gun, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And
Like, hey,
then-
check this.
And then there was that crazy guy that shot the woman and her 2 daughters. And
That's nuts.
yeah, because normally there's no murders in this town, but we had a weird year this year. I mean, having one dummy shoot his girlfriend in the throat, I can understand that, but that other one was that was kind of crazy. Cleveland, Ohio, the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority failed to upgrade and inspect its buses, including the one that struck and killed a 69-year-old woman 1 year ago at Public Square, according to a lawsuit filed Thursday. Yeah, folks, we have this thing with buses in Cleveland. If you're downtown, they might run you over. It happens.
Well, no.
It happens pretty
or they'll-
frequently.
Or they'll punch you.
Yeah, it might knock you out, but you will get run over if you just happen to be like crossing the street on a green light when you have the right of way, because the bus does not care. The bus driver will just take a turn and roll your ass over. So then they started putting in like noise things into the buses, so they're like buses turning left or something. I don't know what it says.
That always sounds really crazy.
It's like, watch out, fool. And
Watch out, human.
people still get killed. People still getting run over. Also, I think the speed limit's like 5 miles an hour in Public Square.
Right.
So everybody could actually see each other, and the bus driver still decides just to roll over them.
So you'd think at like 5 miles an hour, even if the car hit you, the bus hit you, it would just sort of push you, like, along with it.
Right, it would get like stuck on your ankle. It wouldn't be. It would just
Just
be
be-
going. But I don't know. I mean, all jokes aside, I think we've lost like half a dozen people to this stupid shit downtown. It's really fucking stupid. I don't understand it. The greater
If you come to Cleveland and you take bus as your public transport and you find yourself angry about something, or you say to yourself, I think they've mistreated me, I think something's gone wrong, shut your mouth. Just get off the bus and go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just get out.
Okay, look, that chick needed a beatdown. She was out of hand.
She was kind of crazy.
Yeah, see, it says Kundig, a 69-year-old mother and grandmother, was struck about 7:30 a.m. as she crossed the street outside the Key Tower at Peterkin. As Peterkin drove the bus around the square on East Roadway Avenue near Rockwell Avenue, Peterkin rolled through the stop sign and started a left turn. She never came to a full stop and struck Kundig as she walked into the marked crosswalk. The impact of the bus and the bicycle rack on its front end sent Kundig flying into the air and crashing onto the pavement. She suffered several skull fractures, bleeding on her brain, and multiple broken ribs, the lawsuit says. Kundig died at Metro Health 22 days later with her children William and Patricia Kundig by her bedside. Peterkin was fired after an RTA committee assigned to review the incident found that she didn't come to a full stop and that the collision was preventable. She was indicted by a grand
Well,
jury
they have
the
the
next
video.
month and eventually pleaded guilty. She was sentenced to a year's probation and 20 hours of community service at Metro each month of her probation. Wow.
That's wow.
That's
You
really...
you can kill fuckers and get a year of probation and community service.
Yeah, that seems really light. I mean, you know,
No.
Because
Like, why are we not hearing her lawyer's name in this story? Because I want that dude.
RTA is responsible to
Tim
make
is-
sure its buses are working properly and are safe before sending them out on the streets, and Becker said the agency failed to do so. Surveillance video from the bus showed Kundig walk directly into the crosswalk as the bus approached the stop sign and never looked up. Becker said the buses are equipped with audio warnings that alert pedestrians when a bus is turning, and Kudig was not wearing headphones at the time, so he has serious concerns that the bus Peterkin was driving did not have a working alert system. Fuck the alert system. She
Right.
was allowed to cross. She has the right of way. That's the
Right.
fucking.
Yeah.
She could have been listening to Metallica at full volume. It's her turn to walk. Fuck that. This is ridiculous. Now what are they going to do? Turn up the volume on those things so we all have to listen to those dumb buses all the time? Taking left.
Here
Look
comes
out.
the bus.
Crazy driver in charge of bus.
Here I come.
We may not
Getting
obey the law.
Maybe she didn't have the headphones on. The driver would have actually stopped at the stop sign. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah. This irritates me. No end. This is, you know. Okay. Anyway, this is the last one. Cleveland, Ohio. Federal agents on Thursday raided several car repair shops and dealerships throughout Northeast Ohio as part of an investigation into 2 drug rings accused of selling fentanyl, heroin, ecstasy, and other drugs throughout the region.
Bunch of bastards.
Can't even get your car fixed without it costing a fortune, and now they're selling drugs. 26 people are charged in 2 separate federal indictments that accuse the groups of laundering cash through their businesses, including Global Auto Body and Collision on West 130th Street, owned by Imad Silmi.
I guess who? Oh, now who is that?
You can say that name's kind of familiar. Isn't it?
Know that guy, Dan? U.S.
Yeah, I know that guy.
U.S. Motor Sales in Parma, owned by Samir Abu Quake. Santiago
I bet you they
Auto
were kidding.
Care on Bridge Road in Cleveland, owned by Erwin Vargas. Ways to Save Auto Sales on Ridge Road, owned by Isidoro Gonzalez, which sits about 100 yards from an anti-opioid billboard. Advanced Auto Repair on Superior Avenue and East 39th Street, owned by Erkin Nevzadi, and that's a drink. They also use the businesses as fronts for buying, selling, and storing drugs, federal prosecutors say. So why are you getting your car worked on, you know?
Isn't that weird?
They're just fixing your muffler. Hey, you want to buy some fentanyl?
It's, weird. It's just weird.
What? We lost you.
Yeah.
Say that again, Don. We
Listen.
didn't hear you.
Did you want some heroin?
Yeah.
You know, Cylon either.
Yeah.
Your brakes are shot.
It's not your fault. They also use the businesses as front. Okay. The drug rings included a father-son tandem.
Brake pads, some rotors, and would you like some heroin?
Vargas, 42,
I'm just shut up.
and his son Erwin Vargas Rosario, 24, as well as Silmi, who was once sentenced to nearly 5 years in federal
See? Why
prison
can't I say anything?
for dealing drugs from his former Ohio City club Moda, federal authorities said. The club was shuttered in 2006. Moda was a popular club,
Yeah, I remember Moda.
frequented
Exactly.
by stars such as LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah.
the rapper 50 Cent.
Shaquille
I like how
O'Neal.
they preface that with the rapper, so no old people reading this are like, 50, what? 50 Cent?
You don't think of the actor.
I don't
You don't
understand.
know.
Drummer
I want you to
Tommy
think of the
Lee
actor.
and hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons. The drug rings were connected by a mid-level dealer and distributor, Nelson Benitez, 34, court records say. Federal authorities this morning arrested 18 people charged in the indictments. 16 were arrested in Cleveland, 1 in Puerto Rico, and 1 in Detroit. FBI spokeswoman Vicki Anderson said. 5 others turned themselves in. 1 was already in police custody, and 2, Victor Felix, 39, and William Rodriguez, 40, remain at large, Anderson said. The
What?
FBI dubbed the drug investigation Operation Snow Globe. Both drug rings had drugs shipped in via the U.S. mail, FedEx, and UPS. I could never understand how that works. I just can't. I would never feel safe ordering drugs through the mail.
I know.
I would just feel like
can't say anything.
I don't want UPS handling the shit I spent $10 on eBay.
yeah,
Nobody can hear me.
we can't do.
We can.
But
just
a
got
minute ago,
sidelined
you
for a
got
while.
weird. You got and then you kept talking, and we were already long gone past. You kept going. Go ahead, say what you got to say. Then. Oh, we lost Don again. I don't know what's going on with you, man. Maybe it's that video game you're playing. Are you playing online? Is your dad downloading porn? Is that what's going on? Should tell him not to do that while we're doing the show.
Done. I'm thinking.
Okay. Silmy ran one of the drug rings that distributed marijuana, cocaine, and ecstasy, court records say. He was old school. He distributed the older stuff. He's like, I want to do the fentanyl, guys. I want to do the fentanyl and the meth. No, dude, you're going to do the marijuana, cocaine, and ecstasy. You got the 90s drugs over there.
I'm right here.
He also used Abu Quake as a supplier.
It's every week.
The FBI investigated. What? What then? Just go ahead.
I have no idea what's going on with this guy, man. Is he being attacked or what?
He's really upset, and we hear it, and then when we ask him what's going on, there's nothing but silence. It's really strange.
Dude, it's skipping. It's jumping around. It's like you're in the middle of a sentence, and then you're like, Silmy and drugs, and then Anderson. What? Hey, what? I don't know.
Well, we heard you good now, so.
Yeah, whatever. All my jokes are dumb.
Somebody must have paused their downloading the porn. Abu Quake was arrested October 3rd, 2016, while driving more than 2 pounds of cocaine from his shop to Silmy, court records say. That sort of sucks. You'd be driving with 2 pounds of cocaine in your car, and then the lights come on behind you. You're like, fuck it.
Why now?
Yeah, why, you know. Nesvati is accused of selling marijuana and ecstasy from his shop and supplying some of the dealers that also bought from Silmy. Why do I feel like this is not going to actually do anything to stop all the fentanyl deaths in the area? Well, I guess we'll see what happens. So, got a few minutes left. Brian, did you watch any shows? Binge watch a Netflix series or anything?
No, not really. I've been kind of bouncing around trying to find something worth watching, but a lot of some audiobooks that came out I was interested in. I got through Dan Abnett's new one, The War Master, which is Warhammer 40,000, which I enjoy, of course. If you didn't know that already. And let me see. Aside from that, no. I just, would love to be able to actually watch and enjoy something that I could have last
hit
longer.
With my car.
The
Okay. Not sure what's going on.
What would have happened if you hit them dudes with your car, Donnie?
That might have been audio from like 10 minutes ago when we were talking about EMOD and stuff. Might have just finally came through. It's really strange. I heard that dark show is good, but I haven't had a chance to watch
it. Yeah, he keeps like, I get a lot of that. You really need to watch this or that. And I'm like, sure. I have no problem.
You play all the Warhammer games, though. Like, I think you do. Are there any?
You did.
There's like so many of those. Like, I can never tell which ones are good. Like, are any of those good other than the Dawn of War series? And the Colonial Marine one or whatever.
Well, the new Space Hulk one is actually coming out for console next year. Like at the end, I'm really fucking looking forward to that. That's gonna be great.
I don't know why this top 10 Soul Train dancers of all time is on, but I'm just gonna let it go.
Inquisitor Martyr is available.
Inquisitor like Vermintide, is that good? Did you play Vermintide?
Yeah, Vermintide's fucking great. I'm still trying. I've got it. My girlfriend's got. We're trying to find people that we can actually game with.
No, you got to play it online or something.
Well, yeah, but it's you get your own private server. You don't have to actually spend time with other people if you don't want to.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I saw some on sale or something recently. I think there was like a Steam sale for all of the Warhammer stuff, and I was looking through it, but I was like, I can't tell which one of these are good or bad or whatever because they're all.
Vermintide just actually had an expansion. That thing's fucking great.
They got crazy names all the time. Emperor's Bloodlust or
Space
Hulk.
Take it for, it's going to be.
I don't know what any of this is.
It's always going to be a little bit fucking crazy, because it's fucking Warhammer.
And there's also like so many different types. Like I think that Space Hulk is like a top-down like strategy game or something. And then
the new Space Hulk, Deathwing is FPS.
It is Deathwing is a first-person shooter.
Yeah, that's available on Steam. That's great, but you really have to have the gear to run it because I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll look at some of these more closely.
Yeah, I would say that's absolutely worth it because it's great graphics. It's creepy, You know,
I kind of understand the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Like, I kind of understand what's going on there because of the Dawn of War series, but
yeah,
I have
mean,
no
it's
real
just-
understanding of what the storyline is to the standard Warhammer universe. Like, what's the overall, like...
Oh, don't bother with that. You'll never figure that shit out.
I don't know. You know, it's not like elves versus humans or anything. It's weird shit.
Yeah, of course it's weird shit.
Rat
It's
people
normal shit.
or something.
Skaven. That's the fantasy universe, yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. All right, that's it for the show, everybody.
Yeah, let me
We'll be
do
back
this.
next week with more. We'll tell you how Larry's potluck homeless food line thing is going to turn out,
Extravaganza.
where everybody comes thinking they're going to chow down on a big meal, and there's going to be 4 cans of cranberry sauce and
There will be
a lot of
Taco
rolls.
Bell soft taco 12 pack in the middle. Help yourselves, everybody. I love you all.
Some stale chips and shit. And videogamenews.com, and I'll get the RSS updated soon with more information about that as it happens. Okay, thanks everybody. Good night.
See ya.
Late.